Well, I think it's important that we have a conversation about the system, right? Because when we start looking at what's happening with judges being doxxed on the Supreme Court and individuals protesting at their houses, I think it's rather important that we understand that this is part of the system. This is the system fighting for its own survival. And this is an important understanding to have, because like y'all think that America is just some geography or just some like borderless place, or it's not. This is a system of oligarchical fucking control and economic fucking cogs, right? And in order to have it continue to be able to function and be able to continue to grow, they have to continue to be able to have females have the freedoms that they need to have to be able to spend money. Because women are the greatest consumer the world has ever fucking seen. They will spend untold amounts of fucking money on shit that costs nothing to manufacture. Now, let me explain how the system defends itself, because Ted Kaczynski put it best. He said, all of us in modern society are hemmed in by a dense networks of rules and regulations. We are at the mercy of large organizations such as corporations, governments, labor unions, universities, churches, and political parties. And consequently, we are powerless. As a result of the servitude, the powerlessness, and the other indignities that the system inflicts on us, there is widespread frustration, which leads to the impulse to rebel. And this is where the system plays its neatest trick. Through a brilliant sleight of hand, it turns rebellion into its own advantage. Many people do not understand the roots of their own frustrations. Hence, their rebellion is directionless. They know that they want to rebel, but they don't know what they want to rebel against. Luckily, the system is able to fill their need by providing them with a list of standard and stereotype grievances in the name of which to rebel. Racism, homophobia, women's issues, poverty, sweatshops, the whole laundry bag of activist issues. Huge numbers of would-be rebels take the bait in fighting racism, sexism, etc., etc. They are only doing the system's work for it. In spite of this, they imagine that they are rebelling against the system. How is this possible? First, 50 years ago, the system was not yet committed to the equality for black people, women, and homosexuals, so that the action in favor of these causes really was a form of rebellion. Consequently, these causes came to be conventionally regarded as rebel causes. They have retained the status today simply as a matter of tradition. That is, because each generation imitates the preceding generations. Second, there are still significant numbers of people, as I pointed out earlier, who resist the social changes that the system requires. And some of these people, even the authority figures such as cops, judges, and politicians, these resistors provide a target for would-be rebels, someone for them to rebel against. Commentators like Rush Limbaugh help the process by ranting against the activists. Seeing that they have made someone angry fosters the activist illusion that they are rebelling. Third, in order to bring themselves into conflict with even the majority of the system's leaders who fully accept the social changes that the system demands, the would-be rebels insist on solutions that go farther than what the system's leaders consider prudent, and they show exaggerated anger over trivial matters. For example, they demand payments of reparations to black people, and often become enraged at any criticism of a minority group, no matter how cautious and reasonable. In this way, the activists are able to maintain the illusion that they are rebelling against the system, but the illusion is absurd. Agitation against racism, sexism, and homophobia and the like no more constitutes rebellion against the system than does agitation against political graft and corruption. Those who work against graft and corruption are not rebelling, but acting as the system's enforcers. They are helping to keep the politicians obedient to the rules of the systems. Those who work against racism, sexism, and homophobia similarly are acting as the system's enforcers. They help the system to suppress the deviant, racist, sexist, and homophobic attitudes that cause problems for the system. It's this simple, folks. If you want to be able to cram everybody into an office and have everybody be able to work together and have everybody on the same playing field, the system needs to be able to have everybody be the same. There's no culture, no soul, no anything. It's the world full of bugmen who go rah-rah the American flag. Tom Pete of Pnoid News. You know what it is. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace.